This is our 12th lecture on this course, Creating Insight into Customers and End Users, this time about personality. Here are the learning objectives for this lecture. To understand how personality reflects consumers' inner differences, to understand how personality reflects consumers' responses to product and marketing messages, and to understand how the products and services that consumers use enhance their self-images. What is the personality trait characterizing the consumer to whom this ad appeals? What do you think? It's about enthusiastic or extremely involved collectors. The study of personality has been approached in many different ways. Heredity, early childhood experiences, and other social influences have strong effect on who you become. The definition given here is on inner characteristics which distinguish one individual from others. The inner psychological characteristics that both determine and left how a person responds to his or her environment is the so-called personality. And the nature of personality reflects individual differences, is consistent and enduring, and can change. There are some interesting findings regarding the nature of personality. First of all, personality reflects individual differences. Because no two people are exactly the same, marketers can look for certain similar personality traits in different consumers. These consumers can then be grouped together based on this identified personality trait. Personality is consistent and enduring. This helps marketers predict consumer behavior over time in terms of personality. Finally, personality can change due to different major life events such as marriage, childbirth. You may notice personally that your personality has changed somewhat as you have grown. Certainly your own personality now is somewhat different from what you were when you were, let's say, 7 years old. Here are some issues to discuss on the course blog. How would you describe your personality? Write about this, and at least in your learning diary. How does it influence products that you purchase? The second question is especially good for discussing on the course blog. You will probably describe your personality in terms of qualities, attributes, traits, factors, and mannerisms. These personality traits influence products including food, vacation, education, clothing, and more. There are three major theories of personalities. There are many more, but these three have been chosen because they are important to the relationship between personality and consumer behavior. First of all, the Freudian theory. Unconscious needs or drives are the heart of human motivation. The Neo-Freudian personality theory, claiming that social relationships are fundamental to the formation and development of personality. And the trait theory, quantitative approach to personality as a set of psychological traits. Sigmund Freud was one of the most important and influential psychiatrists of all time. There are many websites devoted to him and his theories. Freudian theory itself is based on the existence of unconscious needs or drives as the heart of human motivation and personality. According to Freud, human personality consists of these three systems: the id, superego, and the ego. The id is the warehouse or of primitive drives, basic physiological needs such as hunger, thirst, and sex. The superego drives the individual to fulfill their needs in a socially acceptable manner. Finally, the ego is the internal monitor that balances the need of the id and the superego. How does this marketing message apply the notion of the id? It captures some of the mystery and the excitement associated with the forces of primitive drives. As opposed to Freudian theories, which were based heavily on development, new Freudians are concerned with social relationships. These relationships are formed to reduce feelings of inferiority and tension. Furthermore, people can be classified as to how they interact with others. Are they compliant, aggressive, or detached? A compliant individual desires attention. An aggressive desires admiration, and a detached person desires independence and freedom from obligations. What is particularly interesting is how research has shown these different personality groups differ in their brand usage. Why is appealing to an aggressive consumer a logical position for this product? Because its consumer seeks to excel and achieve recognition. Unlike Freudian and no-Freudian theories, trait theory is less qualitative and more focused on measurement of personality. Tests can be done to measure single traits in consumers, such as how receptive they are to new experiences, that is, innovativeness, their attachment to worldly position or materialism, and their likelihood to accept or reject foreign-made products, ethnocentrism. Marketers are very interested in the link between personality and consumer behavior. These are 7 topics that are considered most interesting related to consumer behavior and marketing: consumer innovativeness, dogmatism, social character, need for uniqueness, optimum stimulation level, sensation seeking, variety, and novelty seeking. In this lecture, we, however, only take notice of this without going deeper in the affair. You find more in the textbook. I recommend you to read the book on consumer behavior recommended in previous lectures. How does this ad target the inner directed outer person? Inner directed outdoors person. A soul person is experiencing the joys and adventure of wilderness. Innovators are the group of consumers that are very open to new ideas and are usually the first to purchase products. Innovativeness is the underlying trait that describes a consumer's willingness to try new products. Companies have found this very important when introducing brand extensions because it's a key factor in the consumer's likelihood to try a new product. For high-tech products, we see the innovativeness can be explained at three levels. The first, global innovativeness, is the overall innovative level of the consumer. Drilling down further, domain-specific innovativeness has to do with a particular product category. And finally, the innovative behavior is the actual purchase of the new product. Dogmatic is a personality trait that describes how rigid or open a person is to new and unfamiliar ideas and products. A person who is highly dogmatic approaches the unfamiliar defensively and with discomfort. They will rarely consider the unfamiliar and tend to be very close-minded. Marketers have realized this type of customer appreciates advertising appeals with celebrities and other experts. The personality trait has its origins in sociological research, but it is of great interest to marketers because it differentiates the types of advertising that influences these consumers. Inner-directed people prefer ads that stress product features. Other-directed individuals gravitate to ads that show approving social environment rather than product information. They want to look to others to understand how to act or to accept, and the ads gives an example of this. You may be able to identify friends with greater need for uniqueness. You can see it in their clothes and their hairstyles. Similarly to the other personality traits we have been discussing, there is a measurement scale that researchers use in quantifying an individual's need for uniqueness. If the respondent scores high on this scale, they have a higher need for uniqueness. Optimum stimulation levels are related to how a consumer tends to like or dislike novel, complex, and unusual experiences and products. High optimum stimulation level leads the consumers to take risks and try new products. Similar to a person with high innovativeness, these consumers are important to marketers of new products. Sensation-seeking traits tied to the need to take risks to fulfill the sensations of experience, which are different and extreme. Much research has been tied to the study of teenage males who often engage in this behavior. Consumers seek variety in many ways. Some exhibit exploratory purchase behavior when they switch brands, often to experience new products. Other consumers display variety by use innovativeness, using an existing product in a new way. Finally, vicarious exploration, which often does not involve actual purchase about the product, refers to a daydreaming or thinking often about a new product. Ask yourself for product categories, how do you exhibit variety, novelty seeking? Consumers' images of themselves are very closely tied to personality and consumption behavior. People tend to purchase products that enhance their self-concept and relate to their own self-images. Think of products that you might purchase to support your self-image. We have an image of ourselves that has developed over time. Consumers will tend to purchase products that match their self-image or personality. They choose brands that help them define themselves. There are different self-images that have been recognized in consumer behavior. They all deal with the actual image of an individual and the ideal or expected image of that same person. Many consumers will purchase products to meet the gap between their actual and ideal selves. This was the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed it.